Hello and welcome to Barre. This is a mixture of ballet, Pilates and other fitness elements, and it's going to work best today if you are in socks or in bare feet, so you can really work through the floor. And today we are going to be using alongside our bar, so I've got the back of a chair, you can have the edge of a table or the wall. Alongside that we're going to be using two small hand weights. So two small objects of equal weight, tins from your kitchen cupboard will work just as well. Don't have to be official hand weights, but if you do have some, low level is best for today. And we are going to be starting at the bar, so just making sure that you've got space around you. You need enough space to really put out your arms, otherwise a little bit hitting the curtain, and enough space to reach above and some space behind you as well. And then with your bar, making sure that ideally it's around waist height. Mine is again a little low, but we make do with what we have. So stepping up to your bar, we're going to be taking our feet into a parallel position. So just tracking from hips down through the knees, down to the feet, growing tall through the spine. We'll start with a little exercise for some body movements first of all. This comes from the Total Barre workout series. And it's going to start with 4 movements, but I'll just talk you through first of all. The first movement is going to be a reach across the body on a diagonal. So if this is my front, across the body on diagonal, and then we're going to pull back through the elbows. So it's a bit of rotation through the sternum. Then that goes into almost the same movement, but we're opening out through the arms. That's going to take it into a little curve through the body. You can take a plie through the legs there, with an extension up through the top of the spine. And then finally, there's going to be a side bend. Again, you can take that onto a plie. It's just a little glimpse of what's to come. Let's give it a go. I will talk you through as we go. So stacking up through the legs, through the spine, head on top, nice and balanced, wrapping that TVA around the waist. A little gentle lift between the sit bones, pelvic floor engagement. Take a breath in, expand the lungs, exhale away. We're going to reach one arm across, nice and slow to start, reaching across yourself, pulling open through the elbow. One more time at that speed. Just thinking about that rotation coming from the sternum. We'll pick up the pace a little bit, 4 of them, a little faster. And you can just follow the sternum with the gaze, opening the head and the chest together. We're going to slow it down a little bit again, and we'll take 2 where we open the arm all the way. And if you want to do a little more rotation in the neck, that's fine, but don't feel you've got to twist all the way around to look at the hand. Let's speed it up. 4 of these, reaching open. Trying to stay fairly still through the knees and the pelvis. Try not to lock the knees in place. We're going to soften them now into a curve, and we find a slight extension, a little lift through the top of the body. Nice and slow for 2, a little quick for 4. It's over and open. Breathing as you go. Working into the sides of the body, the front and back of the body. We're going to go pure side bend now. So just tracking across, looking straight forwards. 2 slow, 4 faster to finish up. Up and over. Trying to plant the heels and the balls of the feet down into the floor. That's going to be our last one of those. We're going to change sides, change arms. Reaching across, we're back to just the elbow, nice and slow. Reaching smooth. You've got 4 on a faster pace. Here we go, it's 4. Pulling back, it's a 3. Breathing as you go. And the breathing will start to get a little deeper the more we're moving. Slow it down, opening out through the arm. Allowing the waist to find that spiraling sensation. And maybe just a little more look through the head, but doesn't have to go all the way to the back hand. That's going to become that flexion extension, so perhaps a little bend through the knees, up and over with the arm. 2 slow, 4 fast as before. Here we go, 4 faster. And feel that movement coming into a bit of a lift through the torso. You've got 1 more. We're going to go into that side bend, hold the phone. On a 5 and 6, and here we go to side bend, nice and slow, and open away. 1 more slow. You've got 4 fast, reaching the arm outwards to come over and up. And really think about the sides of the body, making that curve, so more so than the arm. This time we're just going to take a little curl over the bar, round the spine. Press the feet down. Find that lift, that extension just through the top of the body. Exhale away again. rounding down, dropping the sit bones in space and then raising up, lifting through the chest. One more time, dropping down. We're going to be coming into a plie exercise next of all. So that's going to be our last extension. Restack the spine, head over chest over pelvis, and take yourself into a turned out position, a second position. So we are thinking now about the knees tracking out over the centre of the foot when we drop the pelvis in space. So there's going to be a little drop of the pelvis and raise away, that's our plie. We want all the toes to stay down on the floor and the heels, especially in the second position, make sure the heels stay down. So the pattern of the next exercise is going to be, we're going to take a little plie and then a stretch. We're going to turn it into a plie with a bounce and a little stretch. So it's just a little bounce in there. Then we're going to add some more things on. Let's start with that though. So just the plies on their own to begin. So finding that planted position, heels just to the outside of the pelvis, growing tall. Take a breath in, exhale, plie, and stretch. Breathing smoothly across this, or you could time your breath with your plies and it's not going to make you lightheaded. Otherwise, just letting the air into the sides and back of the ribs. Concentrating on maintaining that turnout right from the top of the leg, so that rotation, so the knee stays tracking out over the centre of the foot. We're going to add in that little bounce after this one. Here we go. So it's going to come down, down and pulse and up. It's down and pulse, and that up return is smooth, so we just get there to come down again. Spongy through the knees, driving down through the feet, but at the same time up through the head. Let's add in a little curtsy position. That has a bounce as well. And up, so we'll do a little plie bounce, curtsy out, come back again and stretch. So this position, ball of the foot, 2 hip bones stay facing towards your bar. So it's just a little shift across. Try and keep that shift nice and low as we're working into the thighs, into the glutes as we maintain that turn up, into all the little rotational muscles in the pelvis. We're going to add on again. It's going to come down. It's going to curtsy, come to this position, foot to ankle, close it in, open it out, come back to the centre. We go down for 2, across, we come up, close it in, open it out, come back to your plie and stretch. That's our full exercise. So we've got a little bounce here. This is a length and supporting leg. This is a rotation of your tummy button. Come back again to the centre. So the whole pelvis is going to turn with you. Here we're front, here we're parallel, here we're turn out front. So we're only taking our turn out as far as we can maintain it on one foot. So if you feel like you get a little bit of twisting through the knee here, you might need to bring that foot back in a little bit in terms of its rotation across. Maintaining that rotation on that supporting leg. Come down, we'll go one more time to either side. Last time, we've got a little bounce with a curtsy, drawing up, lengthening upwards and upwards and upwards. Come back again to stretch. Last time, it's down, across, to the leg, to the in, to the out, to the down, to the middle, and stretch. Toe, heel, feet back in. Take a little pad through the heels, just easing out there. Allow the thighs to release a little bit. Think about the glutes really wrapping in. Maybe a little pad through the feet. We're going to come back around into our turn out. We're going to come back into a turn out first position. And we're going to take a little rotation through the hip. So I'm again going to work with the outside leg. I'm going to be bringing that leg up onto the ball, onto the toes, right up onto the toe of the foot. And we're going to be rotating the leg in and out. So this time pelvis facing forwards as the leg rotates, and here we go, it's in. We've got 4 of them. And then we're going to change to the other leg. So that's 4, and change across, it's in and out. So really feel the inside thigh, drawing the leg across, the knee across. We're going to take it a little bit wider, a swoop across the floor with the toe of the foot. I keep trying to say with the toe of the foot. Coming back again, other side, cross. This is where you see my bar is just a little bit too low. Ideally, I'd want to be more relaxed up here, but we work with what we've got. Adding in a plie, cross and open. Again, just slightly dragging the toe across the floor. Come back again. Try and stay lengthened in the torso. We're going to take it to a full extension. So across and open away. Across and open away. 4 of them again. Coming into our last one this side. Cross and open. Just a little way off the floor. About a glisse height. Let's take some tendus front. These are nice and swift. 4 to the side. 4 out. We're going to take 4 to the back behind the shoulder. And we're going to take a little plie in the middle just to release through the legs. We'll do the same thing in the other side. So 4 to the front, closing back to a first every time. 4 to the side, 4 coming up to the back. Try and stay long through the front surface of the body. Take a little plie. Whole thing again starting to the back. You've got 4. And these come to the floor every time. So making sure the foot does not escape the tendus to the front. Maintaining that turn out and that turn out. Take a little plie. Last time, final side to the back. 1 and 2. It's 2. It's 1 to the side. It's 4. Nice, deep, easy breathing. 4 to the front. Trying to stay grounded on that supporting side. Take a little bend. Have a little squeeze. Rotate the legs in for a second, maybe step it back. If you've got space, take a little bend of the knees again, maybe a little stretch out through the back. The back has been fairly lengthened, neutral, supported, working hard in the same plane. Let's give it a little bit of a cat stretch here, a little scoop up towards the sky. A little feeling of extension through the top of the head and the sit bones, tummy button pulling back towards the spine. Bend the knees, step yourself back in again. We are going to come into a glisse exercise. A couple more at the bar. I was going to say one more at the bar, so a couple more at the bar. So we're quite bar focused in our bar class today. So coming to our glisse exercise. I call this glisses as sort of a modified glisse. We're going to take the action of the closing of the leg. So I've got my heel just skimming across the floor, and it's going to close front and back. So I'm closing to a roughly 3rd position, which is sort of halfway down the other foot, 3rd and 3rd. And we're going to close a front, a back, a front, a back, a front, and then we're going to change across to the other foot. So there's a little bit of shifting up and down, so whichever foot you're starting with, have a little bit of space that way. Sometimes we'll close in front, sometimes we'll close behind to start, sometimes we'll move across on straight legs, sometimes we'll move across with a plie, and I'll let you know what's coming up as it comes. So let's begin. I'm going to start with my left foot, and I'm going to take the left foot slightly out to the side, closing in front. Here we go. We've got a front, 2, 3, 4, and 5, side, move across, front, 2, 3, 4, 5, side on straight legs to the front again. One more time to the front, and then we're going to take it starting to the back. So it's back, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just keeping that flexed foot, skimming around the other leg. And you're thinking about inside thighs, maybe calves, coming across. I think I miscounted there. 3, 4, and 5. We'll come back to the front. We'll add in a plie. 5, bend across. Front. 2, 3, 4, 5, and bend across. Keep in front. We've got one more to the front here. And then we're going to take it to the back. Keep the plie to the back. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And plie across. And we can have that little sense of bing, up again. 3, 4, and 5, and down, lift. So it's really lengthen through the body. That's our last one. Come back to the center. Take a nice deep plie. Maybe turning into a little bit of a fourth. Have a little lowering there. Come back around. Nice and open through the knees. Deep as long as the heels are staying down. Coming back around to the center. Lengthening up through the legs. Heel toe the feet in. Just back to parallel. Let's take some circles through the shoulders. We're going to take the circles back the other way. If you wanted to add a little plie of the legs, softening down through the knees. And we're going to take a nice big reach up for the sky. Reaching 2 arms through the ceiling. Little wrist circles on the way down. One more big reach. we are next of all going to be picking up our weights. So making sure they are not heavy weights, low level weights, because you're going to be using one at a time, one arm at a time, and we're also going to be standing on one leg at a time. So enough challenges happening without adding heavy weights. So just small toning balls, small weights, tins from your kitchen cupboard. You need one of them for this next exercise. It's a fondue exercise. Fondue meaning to melt, that melting sensation of a plie but on one leg. So we're going to be taking the foot to the ankle with a little plie. We kind of have this position in our plie exercise. So this one here, we're going to place the foot just slightly to the front of the ankle, take a little bend, and then I'll reach away. So I'm standing on one leg. This one is on the floor. It's a little prop, but I could move it away if I wanted to. I'm definitely not standing on 2 feet. So it's one leg, lots of glute action happening on this supporting leg. At the same time, we're holding our hand weight. And the hand weight is going to come into the chest, it's going to come into the chest and it's going to reach up as the leg extends. Then we're going to take a little press open to the side, 3 of those. Then we're going to take the leg to the side, so the arm comes into the chest and it comes out to the side. When the leg is at the side, the arm closes inwards towards you. We'll do the leg to the back and the arm's going to reach up for the sky again. So it comes up to the sky, and we've got this one again, open the elbow out to the side. We'll do one more time to the side where it's going to come in and out, and it's going to close in and out this way. Thinking about the engagement around the shoulder socket. You don't want it too high or too low, somewhere in the middle. You don't want it pinching forwards or pinching back, somewhere in the middle. You want to be in the middle of the Venn diagram of shoulders, I like to say. So there's room to maneuver in all directions. We're going to do it with our hand weight. I feel a bit wonky now. Let's do a couple on the other side just to even out. Always trying to work as evenly as possible. So one hand weight, it's going to come into the chest on the fondue mat, and it's going to extend to the side, palm away from you. I don't know if you can see that. I should probably just check in with that. So it's palm to the sky, palm forwards as the hand goes to the sky, palm forwards. And then when we come out to the side, that's the palm turning into the midline of the body. And then the 2 arm designs that we need today. Let's skip this back, let's give this a go. So coming into a first position first of all, we're going to take the weight down. It's going to come into the chest as we take our fondue and our extension, 3 movements through the arms. So you've got a little fondue and reach away, palm front, opening the arm out, reaching it up, trying to stay lifted on that supporting leg, open and up. We pull it into the chest, to the side, close it in. This hand is here for a little bit of support, but ideally trying to stay stable over that supporting leg. Pull it into the chest, fondue to the sky. Here we come back to this cactus shaped press. Pull the elbow out to come down. We've got one more set to the side. It comes in and out. We've got close in. Try and stay long on 2 sides of the body. Obliques being challenged by this uneven distribution of weight. Take it around. Shake it off. I'm going to take it on the other side. So exactly the same thing again. Coming back through our first position. The weight coming into the chest first of all. Here we go on 7, 8 fondue. Take it up. Take it out to the side. Reach high. Stable through 2 shoulders. Fonduing again, taking it out to the side. Fondue to the side. Close it in. Open out. 2 more. Wide through the collarbones. It's going to the back. Reaching high. Make sure the body isn't pitching forwards. Think of that gentle swoop up towards the sky. Oh, I couldn't do 2 things at once there. We've got pulling into the chest one more time. Glutes wrapping on both sides, maintaining that turn out. That's going to be our last one on that side. Take it away. We are going to repeat one more time. We're going to take it this time, maybe with the foot just slightly off the floor. So your fondue could come just slightly off the floor. It's not about the height of the leg. It's about the fact that you're standing on one leg. That's enough of a challenge on its own. So keep it nice and low. Alternatively, pop the toes back down on the floor. That's fine too. Here we go. So we've got fondue, reach away. Now if it's hovering just off the floor, try and stay level through 2 hip bones. Make sure the raised leg isn't lifting through the hip bone. So it's wide position. Think of that toe reaching away from you, not higher, just further. We're going to take it to the back. And this requires a little bit of concentration on my part. Hence I'm drilling my gaze into the opposite wall rather than acknowledging the camera. Sorry about that. We've got our last one to the side. I love a coordination challenge, even for myself. That's our last one of these. Keep that rotation. Close the feet, release the arm. Coming around, final side, final time. Coming back into a first position. Hovering leg, optional as we go. On 5 and 6 and fondue on 1. Reaching up. Palm faces out. Elbow pulling out to the side of the room. Breathing into the sides and back of the lungs. Close it in, out to the side. Again, does not have to be high through that leg. Nice and low is just fine. Try not to grip too much through the bar hand. It's just there for a little bit of support. Oh, that's the wrong move, I'm sorry. It's out to the side, there we go. Last one of those. Here we go, final set. Pull it in, reach away. Palm closes in, palm opens out. Breathing as you go. Last one. Release the foot, release the arm. Good stuff. Let's pop that down. Let's take a little stretch across with the arm. I think we've got, yeah, there's a little bit more with our arms. Opening out, just take a little mini stretch, a little moment to release. And if you are feeling your glutes after all that turnout, have a little figure 4 stretch as well. A little sit into the leg, a little sit into the glutes. We're going to be picking up our 2 hand weights next. And we're going to be coming into a second position. We're going to be away from the bar now. So we can get rid of the bar, we don't need that for the rest of the workout actually, so you can move that away. We're going to have our 2 hand weights. And we're going to have a series of movements in the centre of the room. So coming into a wide second position. This one's quite wide because we've got a little lunge effect going on. And it's a little sort of smooth hill over from side to side. It's not going to be robotic and it doesn't come all the way up. So it's somewhere in between, a smooth hill of a bounce. Maintaining turnout as we have been doing. Scooching across side to side. At the same time we've got some movements through our arms. These are going to be nice and easy to follow along as we go. So I suggest just picking up your 2 hand weights, have them at the ready. We're going to start with the arms out to the side, take your little plie and take a little shift side to side. So we've got a little shifting going on first of all. We're going to take the arms into the front. So they're going to turn palm down as they come into the front of us. Shoulder height. Now at any time if you don't like doing this with the weights, you can get rid of them. We're going to add a rotation through the body, pulling through the elbow as we turn. It's quite swift. Keep it going, keep it moving nice and smoothly. Controlling all the way to the end of the range. Last 2, it's 2, it's 1, come back to the front. Keep that little heel bounce going, opening through the arms. Arms reaching out to the sides. We're going to come back into the center, take the arms down. Raise the shoulders, let them go. We're coming back down to a plie and we're reaching the arms up. Little pull down, little pull up. So it's a little upper abdominal contraction. We can take that a little faster, down and up. We can also take it on a little diagonal. So rotate, pull down. So it's upper abdominals, keeping the elbows raised around shoulder height. Trying to keep the pelvis level. Coming back around to the center, lower the arms, take a stretch. Raise the shoulders, roll them back. Release any tension, come back down to the center, come up again. You've got other side. Little contract, release. You've got 4 more. It's a 4. It's a 3. Elbows reaching away. Come back to the center, 4 in the center. Little curl. Think upper abdominals, lower abs just stabilizing. Reach the arms away. Big shoulder roll. Coming back around to the center, reach the arms out, palm up, pull in. Smoothly in, smoothly out. You've got 4 more of those as well. Here we go. Pull in for 4, for 3. Last, it's 2. Last one. Little pulses. And in. 2, 8 of these. 4 to go. We're going to come to the front. Reach away. It pulls in and turn the palms. Push away with the hands. So pull in, palms in, push away. Try and get a little lower through the legs. We can make this faster as well. One last slow one. Then we're going to run out of music. We've got pull in, push away, pull in. Rotating the palms as you go. So we get that pronation, supination through the forearm. Staying long through the back of the neck. Last 2. Final 1. Release the arms. Lengthen the legs. Walk the heels and toes in. Reach 2 arms to the ceiling. Push the weights away and take them down. You can remove the weights to one side. We're going to be coming down into a core exercise. We're going to take a little bit for our lower core. So we have some upper core involvement there. We're going to be coming down to the floor, working a little bit on our lower core. We're going to drop the gaze, we're going to drop the chin slightly. We're going to curve the spine up and over, reaching down towards the floor. Walk the hands further away. Bring the knees down. If you need a little moment for a bit of a stretch out through the arms, through the lats after that previous exercise, have a little stretch here. Maybe a little wiggle. We're going to unroll through the spine. We're going to bring the legs around. Shift the bum so that you can lay down in a supine position. Ideally, you want space to raise your legs up, or definitely to the sky, possibly overhead. That is an option. You don't have to do that version, but you might need more space if you are going to do it. So just adjust accordingly as you go. We come to our supine spine. We come to our imprint, just our little mini contraction between ribs and hips. And then we're going to float 1, 2 legs into their tabletop position. We're going to cross the ankles and open through the knees. You've got a little abdominal curl. Now have a look first of all. It's a little something like this. If that looks like something where you're going to need a mat underneath you, please grab one. If you're happy on your carpet or maybe your own mat already, let's go straight in. So we've got an exhale to curl the abdominals even more. Pubic bone coming towards breastbone and away. A few of these. Exhaling as you curl, inhale as you come away. Making sure that it's not coming from a hinge of the legs. So the legs are trying to maintain the same position. There may be a little more flexion through the hip, but it's mostly about lower abdominals, pubic bone curling towards breastbone, and the feet just coming with you. We can switch the ankles over to repeat the same thing. Exhale, trying to keep the shoulders open into the floor. They might want to curl away, try and keep them wide and down. Get a little bit of pressure under the triceps. A little bit of tricep work, not enough to push yourself, but just enough to stabilize against the floor. Last one of those. Come back to the center, have a little rest for a second. A second option would be, now you could repeat exactly what we just did, or we could be taking our legs to a diagonal, and we could be inhaling to raise them to the sky, and exhaling to lower them slightly further away. Inhale to bring them up, and exhale to take them down. There you go, as low as you can maintain that same imprint position of the spine, which means if you can get lower than me, that's great. But if you're getting lower than me by popping out the lower abdominals, it's not really that great. So really keep thinking abdominal work. The legs are just creating that opportunity. It's not about how far the legs go. You can hear in my voice that it gets tricky the lower you try and go. Now, if that's feeling okay, you could add on to this. You could just go a little way like we did with the previous exercise, the little mini ab curl, pubic bone coming to breastbone. Or if it's comfortable, the legs could come all the way to a parallel to the floor. Now, if you're going to try that, have a look first, then do. Try not to look and do, it's going to hurt your neck. So have a little look first of all. You're curling lower abs, reaching the toes overhead. If you wanted to, you could maybe tap them to the floor. Just make sure that's not pushing into the neck. That's a hinge from the hip joint. The pelvis stays where it is. And then we roll it down again. Are you stuck for breathing? Let me give you some breathing guidance as we go. So we're going to inhale as the legs come to the sky. We're going to exhale as they go up and overhead. We're going to inhale as they tap down, or just hold there. The tapping is optional. And we're going to exhale as we roll down again through the spine. You can also do this with the legs separated. So you could inhale straight up to the sky. Exhale, they can be separated, maybe about shoulder distance apart. Tapping is optional. Come back to that long hover. Slowly roll down through the spine. We're going to do one more of whatever version of the exercise you are doing. And really do think lower abdominals. It can be distracting with the legs flying around all over the place. Really think that it's lower abs that are controlling every action. Bring the legs back through a tabletop into a little supine shell. Maybe a little rock side to side. Let's roll over onto our front. Let's come around to a quadruped. Let's take a little cat stretch to ease out from that. So we've got the same curve, that rounded up to the spine, spine to the ceiling curve. And then we take a little extension in the upper back, just lengthening away again. Exhale as you round upwards. Inhale as you extend away. Last one, curve the spine, push the floor down. Inhale, reach. We are going to tuck the toes at the back, shift the heels back, press the hands down, maybe a little bit of a wiggle through the spine, through the legs. We're going to walk the hands in, under, so these are feet. Walk the feet in, close to the hands, release the head, the shoulders, unroll through the spine, smoothly coming up, lengthening head back on top, the last of all. And we are done there for today. Thank you very much.